here's the design that I have for it based off of a photograph that I took of my roommate Josie. I learned a lot from doing this. My main takeaway is like I regret painting the whole thing white. I think it would look cooler if you could see what's underneath there. I think I treated this too much like a canvas. Like I gessoed it, kind of thinned the paint as if I was painting onto something porous, which is obviously not the case with wood. So I'm only gonna prime the square that I'm painting in, and I'm gonna leave the rest raw. I'm also gonna take the grip tape off. And the way that you take grip tape off a skateboard is with heat. So I'm gonna go in with my hair dryer, take the grip tape off, and then I'm gonna go on this side. I'm gonna sand it. So sanding it took a lot longer than I thought it would take because it turns out all of that blue on it was actually spray paint and it was a completely different design underneath. So once I realized that the blue paint could come off, I decided to try to take all of it off. That's a lot of it on my hand. And then I went in with this like stripping liquid, which is like a turpentine, to just like get all of the paint off. And yeah, that's what it looked like. I'm gonna leave the back like this. I kept a little corner of grip tape here. I'm gonna do a square and gesso that. So yeah, I immediately went in with layers of white gesso onto that rectangle. And then I realized that I hate painting onto white. And I never paint onto white, so I scraped off the gesso. And then I re-gessoed it using a small batch that I had mixed a little bit of acrylic paint into, so that instead of starting on a white blank canvas, I had a toned canvas, because I usually tone my canvases before I paint onto them. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. I sanded it and then added layers of it. I wanted it to be as thin as possible and as smooth as possible. Then I compared the size of that rectangle to the one in my sketch, and I realized it was the wrong size. So I'm gonna add more of the colored gesso just to the bottom and then let it dry so that the square is more accurate to this. I want it to go down lower, so yeah. So after I made that adjustment, which actually took a lot of time because I had to do a lot of sanding to get it even, it was finally time to sketch it. So I set up my projector in my bedroom to basically trace on the sketch that I had already done. Now I could have drawn it myself, but tracing is faster and there's nothing wrong with tracing. I'm about to do the first layer of the underpainting. I had to like clip it here and put it through that. This is a glasses case. All I did with the tracing was making sure that I have the right proportions and the right stuff in the right place. For the first layer, I'm gonna do acrylic, and it's just gonna be to like get the shadows and shapes really. Okay, the underpainting, let's go. It's all about establishing tonal value, getting the darkest darks where they are, and the mid-tones, looking for the shadows. It's a massing process. So I'm really just getting the right stuff in the right place and looking for shadow and value. Okay, this is the underpainting acrylic. The reason I do acrylic, oh, it's dry. That means I can fully layer more paint on top of this and I don't have to worry about the colors getting muddy. I'm gonna do more layers now. So this is when I started using oil paint. I looked for the darkest, coolest tones first. And yeah, again, I'm really just blocking in the colors. Yeah. I don't know how else to fill this. I feel like it needs a voiceover. I was drinking coffee. And then I went in with the cool tones of the skin. And then I went cool, warm, cool, warm. I was talking on the phone during this. Yeah, the first blocking of the oil paint is fun because you don't have to worry about detail just yet. And yeah. Okay, so this is what it looks like now. I painted for like 2 hours and I didn't record the session. Sorry. I randomly felt inspired to paint. Like I didn't want to go through the effort of filming it. So just, yeah, this is what it looks like now. It's dried because it's been like a week since I've touched this. I feel like I can finish it in one session. So that's the plan. Yeah, so I did not finish it in one more session. Spoiler alert. Here's the first one though. I started off by kind of redoing the skin. I felt like it was kind of patchy. So I remixed the skin color. I kind of made her a little bit more pale than I planned. So I was also simultaneously trying to add the color back to her skin. Um, yeah, and then I started getting the hair again, like the curlers in her hair. My phone did fall 3 times. That was the first one. I was yeah, the hair I'm gonna have to redo it because it's harder than I thought it would be. I've never painted hair like this. There's my phone falling again and again. I don't know why I kept putting it back in the same spot. But yeah, that's the progress from this session. So after I took a break, I went back to it. I got a really tiny detail brush and I tried to like make the skin and face as detailed as possible while also blocking out the background and like kind of carving out the shapes. And then finally adding the scarf that's on top of her head in the photo, the bricks and stuff. But I think honestly, I overworked it in this session because the colors got kind of muddy toward the end, as you can see. This was my first time adding linseed oil to my paint. And normally, the only thing that I use to thin my paint is Gamsol. But there's benefits to using linseed oil because it makes the paint like easier to work with. It makes it smoother. However, it takes so fucking long to dry. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna let it dry like this overnight and then come back to it tomorrow. Okay, so it's dry and I cut this little piece of sandpaper and I'm kind of like sanding the parts that have like a lot of paint on them, like right here, for example. I'm just like kind of sanding it down. Right here, like there's a bump, you know? And like obviously I can go back and like put that back if I want. So I'm just like evening it out right now. Okay, let's finish this painting for real. The last 2 sessions I was basically reshaping stuff. This was also when I finally incorporated black into my palette. So up until this point I hadn't used any black. And it really lets you get the full range of colors, the full range of light, I should say. This is another day, obviously. I believe this was the last day I actually painted it. You can tell that the black outlines in the scarf as well as the shadows in the hair really made things pop. And then the very final detail on this was the cigarette that is in her hand in the photograph. So this is just me mixing the color of her cigarette. And this is the only clip so far that is not sped up. So I just wanted you to see the actual speed that I'm painting at in all of my videos, which is really fucking slow. And other painters have told me that I paint fast, so keep that in mind. So now I guess I'm just gonna sign it. Maybe in blue. I feel like there's a lot of blue on this, so. Okay, it's done. All right. This is what she looks like in the sunlight. If anybody wants to buy it, DM me on Instagram. I have like 10 subscribers in this channel. So if you're watching this video, we probably know each other in real life. So hey. If you want stickers, text me, DM me on Instagram, your address. I will mail you an envelope full of as many stickers as you want. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.